Once upon a time, in a small village at the foot of a great mountain, there lived a young man named Marcus. He was not the strongest or the smartest, but he had a deep desire to become better, to strengthen his character and face life's challenges with courage. One day, he heard of an old Stoic philosopher who lived alone on the mountain. People said this philosopher had mastered the art of inner strength, and Marcus decided to seek his wisdom. The climb was difficult. The path was steep, and the wind was cold. Marcus struggled, but he kept going. When he finally reached the top, he found the philosopher sitting calmly on a rock, gazing at the horizon. The old man turned to Marcus and said, "You have come seeking strength, but strength is not given. It is built. Are you ready to learn?" Marcus nodded, and so his lessons began. The philosopher taught him that the first step to strengthening character is understanding what you can control and what you cannot. "Imagine you are a sailor," the old man said. "You cannot control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. Worrying about things outside your control is like shouting at the storm. It changes nothing. Focus instead on your choices, your actions, and your thoughts." Marcus realized how much time he had wasted fretting over things he could not change. He began to practice letting go of these worries and directing his energy toward what he could influence. Next, the philosopher spoke about challenges. "Life will test you," he said. "But a Stoic does not run from hardship. They see it as training for the soul. Every difficulty is a chance to grow stronger." To teach this, the old man made Marcus carry a heavy stone up and down the mountain every day. At first, Marcus groaned under the weight, but over time, his body grew tougher. Just as the stone strengthens your muscles, the philosopher explained, problems strengthen your mind. Embrace them. Marcus also learned the power of perspective. One evening, as they sat by a fire, the old man asked, "If you lost everything you own, what would you have left?" Marcus thought carefully. "I would still have myself," he answered. The philosopher smiled. "Exactly. Wealth, reputation, even the body. These things can be taken away. But your character, your principles, your ability to choose wisely, no one can steal these unless you let." From that day on, Marcus practiced gratitude for what he had and detachment from what he could lose. Another lesson was about emotions. A strong character is not one that never feels anger or fear, the philosopher said, but one that does not let these feelings rule them. He taught Marcus to pause before reacting, to ask himself, "Is this emotion serving me or am I serving it?" When Marcus felt angry, he learned to step back and breathe. When fear gripped him, he asked, "What is the worst that can happen, and can I endure it?" Over time, his emotions became like waves. He felt them, but they no longer pulled him under. The final lesson was about purpose. "A ship without a destination drifts aimlessly," the philosopher said. "So does a person without a purpose." He asked Marcus to think deeply about what kind of person he wanted to be. Not rich or famous, but honest, courageous, kind. Let these virtues guide you, and your actions will have meaning. Marcus wrote down his principles and read them every morning, reminding himself of the man he was striving to become. Years passed, and Marcus grew into a man of strong character. When storms came, loss, betrayal, hardship, he stood firm. He did not complain or crumble, because he had trained his mind and heart like a Stoic. One day he returned to the village, and people noticed the change in him. They asked, "What happened on that mountain?" Marcus simply replied, "I learned that strength is not something you find. It is something you build, day by day, through practice and patience." And so, the lessons of the Stoic philosopher lived on, not just in Marcus, but in everyone who chose to walk the path of inner strength. The mountain still stood, silent and unchanging, a reminder that true strength comes not from avoiding life's struggles, but from facing them with wisdom and courage. If you wish to strengthen your character like a Stoic, remember these lessons. Control what you can, Embrace challenges, master your emotions, live with purpose, and never stop growing. The path is not easy, but it is worth it. For in the end, it is not the mountain you conquer, but yourself.